Hi friends, welcome back to another pick a card reading. Today's reading is all about your new year glow up. So in today's reading, we're going to be answering the question, what does the best future version of yourself look or feel like? So today we are going to be diving into the essence of your future self. If you would like to get other details on what your, future life will be like, or a day in the life of your future self, I do have another pick a card reading on that topic, and I will link it for you below. For those of you who are interested in checking out my podcast or my online shop, please check out the links below in my description. And if you are new to pick a card readings, here's how it works. The first thing that you're going to do here is you are going to pick the pile or the crystal that you are the most intuitively drawn to. So we have pile 1 here with the 4-leaf clover card, and we have a blue goldstone crystal heart. We have pile 2 here with the lantern, and then we also have a piece of blue lace agate. And then we have pile 3 here with the heart. This is an Apophyllite with Chrysocolla crystal. And then we have pile 4 here with the rabbit or the rabbit's foot with the double terminated citrine crystal. So you can choose one pile, you can choose more than one pile, or you can choose all of them. It is totally up to you. But when you're ready, you can go to the description of this video and find the timestamp that is linked to your pile. Then you can skip ahead to your reading. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, and I will see you on the inside. Pile 1, welcome to your reading. So this is all about your New Year glow up, and we want to find out, what does the best future version of yourself look or feel like? We're going to dive into the essence of your future self. If you would like more of a reading that's like a day in your life as your future self, I do have another pick a card reading that I recorded on that, so I'll link it below. But in terms of what, your best future version of yourself feels like, we have justice here. And with justice, I feel like this is you embodying the principles of things like fairness and integrity and accountability, right? So this version of you reflects a very deep alignment with your values. I think that this is you being able to make decisions with balance, and this is you, standing firmly in your truth. I just think it's so funny because it's cute. Like there's these, I love this tarot deck. It's the Pause Tarot. I'll link it for you in the description, but it's so cute. Future in your pause. And there's just these little cute cats, cute photos of cats. And so I love that this cat's like standing firmly in their truth in their fuzzy, cozy slippers that looks like they're at home, but they're, they're focused on being composed and balanced, right? Like I think that the future version of yourself has a demeanor that exudes a sense of calm and exudes the sense of confidence, right? It shows that you're at peace with your choices and, all the decisions that you've made. I also feel like your future version of yourself is someone who's very empowered, right? Someone who's very assertive, actually. Like you know how to take up space, and this is with grace, right? But you know that you've earned your place through things like honesty and diligence. I also wonder if this is my pile that is drawn to, like symbols of balance, like scales, or kind of like having this like elegance in your appearance, right? Like maybe having like a finer taste in life. This is Libra energy. And this card, again, it represents things like balance, like fairness, and like truth, right? It represents things like ethical decision making. It aligns with things like accountability, right? So Libra is ruled by the planet of Venus. So I do think that the next best, future version of yourself, you're going to be feeling really good about yourself, right? Maybe you're going to feel aesthetically good about yourself. In terms of what you feel like here, I feel like you're going to feel very clear. You're going to feel very focused, right? I think that you're going to feel very mentally sharp, and you're going to feel emotionally clear too, right? You're going to be able to discern what aligns with your values, and I think that you're going to, again, be able to take decisive action. And I also feel like you're going to feel this sense of liberation, right? From living from a very authentic place and from speaking your truth, you know, even when it's challenging. So I think that in this new year, things are going to feel very peaceful and they're going to feel just, right? Not only for yourself, but for others too, right? So I think fairness in your relationships or fairness in your endeavors. I just think that the way that you're going to interact in the world in terms of like your future self, I think that you're going to be fair, right? You're going to be objective. You're going to be someone who's a truth seeker. And you're also going to be somebody who's a wise leader. We also have the Nine of Swords here. So with the Nine of Swords here in reverse, this could represent things like healing or like overcoming fears or anxieties that, you know, like maybe weighed you down once upon a time, right? So the best future version of yourself is someone who's confronted their inner struggles, right? And they've found their peace. And I think now you're going to live in a place where you have more emotional resilience, right? And you have more clarity. So I do feel like there's a sense of relief coming your way in the new year. I think that I just keep feeling like people are going to come up and say, wow, like you look really radiant, you know, like there's going to be a lightness in your face. And I think this is going to come from letting go of worry, right? Like maybe you're going to appear well rested or grounded or a little bit more present. And I think that even your body language, I think it's going to be open, it's going to be strong. And I think that you're going to be free from the burden of any sort of like past stress or past anxiety or past regrets, right? This new year is softer energy for you. I think that you're going to exude a very calm, like approachable aura, right? And you're going to show that you've shifted from a state of like maybe inner turmoil to inner peace, if that resonates with some of you guys here. So with this, I do feel like you're going to feel very liberated, free, very hopeful, right? I think that there's a sense of you being free from like mental anguish, right? Or like overthinking. I do think that you're going to be in a place where you feel a lot more hopeful and a lot more optimistic about the future. And I wonder if this is my pal that's felt that like deep depth of despair once upon a time, right? I wonder if you've been through a lot, pile one, and I think that through your experiences you've gained just like deep, immense empathy for other people and their experiences. So this could be something that fuels your purpose, right? This could fuel your relationships. So I just think like next year you're going to feel very resilient. You're going to feel strong, right? You're going to feel like you've recognized that you've faced the darkness and you've came out stronger. You know, I think there's going to be a lot more like self-trust and courage. So very, very exciting here. I also feel like this is you being calm under pressure in terms of like how you're interacting with the world, right? I think that, you know, life, there's always going to be challenges, but I think that next year it's not going to feel so overwhelming, right? Like it's not going to like knock you off kilter, right? I think that you'll be able to approach things with a sense of balance and a sense of groundedness. I also feel like too, especially with like the energy of like leadership here, I do think that maybe you're going to be in a position where you're going to be supportive to others. So maybe you use your journey as a source of wisdom or as a source of helping other people navigate their struggles, navigating things like anxiety, right? So again, you're just going to be interacting with the world in a way that's more focused, in a way that's more present. Again, I think that you're going to be freed from things like overthinking. You know, you're going to be freed from sleepless nights, and you're going to be able to engage fully with the present moment and the people around you. I really do feel like this future version of yourself is deeply connected to the idea of release and things like forgiveness, right? You've learned to trust the flow of life and to embrace things like impermanence, right? And to let go of the things that no longer serve you. So yeah, the Nine of Swords reversed here, I think it just symbolizes you transcending fear and reclaiming peace for yourself and being somebody who knows how to move forward with clarity and inner strength and having a renewed sense of purpose. We also have the Sisterhood of Rose here. This one says beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, and teacher. So with this one, this card represents things like divine feminine energy, right? Deep devotion to beauty and spirituality. I feel like some of you here could be in the role of like a priestess or a mystic or a teacher in the next year. But I do think that the best future version of yourself with this card is someone who's very much spiritually awakened, right? Someone who is aligned with their higher purpose, and somebody who radiates love and wisdom and grace. So in terms of what you might look like in the new year, I do think that you're going to feel very, again, like very aesthetically pleasing, very radiant, very graceful, right? Your physical presence, again, I think you're going to be like getting compliments, like you're glowing, you have a light to your face, you know? I do think that you have this aura of like calm and beauty in the new year. And I think that this is going to be, you know, very much reflective of your inner alignment. Like you've worked very hard to get to this place in your life. And so I do think that almost like a moth to a flame, people are very much drawn to your light, pile one. I do think that even like next year, your style and your environment exude things like elegance and, you know, things like harmony and being grounded and being balanced. So I don't know if this is just, whether this is through like, you know, intentional choices in the way that you dress, or, you know, in your surroundings, or the way that you carry yourself. I also think that there's just a very sacred energy about you, pile one, in the new year. So I don't know if some of you here are going to be, you know, developing like a sacred practice, or you're going to be diving into your spiritual practice a little bit more, or you're going to be working with things like crystals, right? Or you're going to be working with other things that are involved in your spiritual path, like divination, or, you know, whatever it is, reading about things, connecting with the earth. So many different things here. But yeah, I definitely think that you're going to be a teacher and a guide, right? You're going to be using your experiences and your intuition and your knowledge to uplift and inspire other people, right? And I really do think that you're going to be teaching through the energy of love, right? And example. Another thing here too is I do think that you're going to create a lot of beauty in the new year. So whether this is through art or words or rituals, I do think that you know how to bring beauty into the world, and you know how to remind other people of the sacredness of life. I also think that you're going to be very much like a supportive presence in people's lives in the new year. So, you know how to foster sisterhood, you know how to foster community, you know how to build connection. And I really do think that you're going to be known as somebody who knows how to create spaces where other people feel seen and valued and empowered. This is something that I actually hope to achieve on this channel, is to create a space where you do feel seen and heard and valued and honored and empowered, right? Yeah, with the word priestess here, I keep hearing like priestess of light, right? Like maybe some of you here are going to be, again, like bringing people into, I don't know, I just keep hearing like illumination, right? Like awakening people to their own truth, or to their own power, to their own belief in themselves. You have so much mystic wisdom, pile one, right? I think that you know how to embrace the unseen, and you know how to trust your intuition to guide yourself and to guide other people through life's challenges. So yeah, I just think that, yeah, again, there's a lot of divine feminine energy here. There's a lot to celebrate, you know, within yourself, within others. I think that the divine feminine and like just sisterhood in general, it has the power to heal and to nurture and create. So I definitely think that those are going to be huge themes for you in the new year, pile one. We also have Flower Child. This one says momentum, creativity, and action. So with this card, I feel like your best future version of yourself looks like someone who, again, is very vibrant. Although there is this element too of like being very free-spirited here, right? Someone who's very much immersed in the flow of creativity and purposeful action. So I do think that in this new year, you're going to be bringing very unique ideas to life through things like art projects or solutions that feel very authentic and very inspiring to you. This one says, I hope over everyone else you learn to make yourself proud. Wow, that's interesting. I keep hearing like past versions of yourself would be so proud, right? Past versions of yourself would feel so justified to know. They'd be so proud of you to know what you've become today. So again, there's a lot of like radiant energy here, right? Like the bees are buzzing around her, they're pollinating the flowers, and it seems like the flowers are growing out of her mind, and this knowledge is growing out of her book, and it's just, there's a lot of growth. There's a lot of, yeah, momentum, creativity, action. I do think that the environment feels like it's flourishing, right? I also think that you're going to be surrounded with like-minded individuals, people who uplift your journey. Life is going to feel very, very exciting, pile 1, right? It's going to feel very much like you have this joyful movement and this fulfillment towards your goals. I think that you're going to feel very empowered in terms of your confidence. So this is the year where you finally believe in your ability to create and innovate effortlessly, right? This just comes from being you. In the new year, you're going to be feeling very much deeply connected to your actions and, you know, the impact that it has on other people. Like, you have no idea, like, by you sharing your heart or by you sharing your creativity, you have no idea how many other people out there you're inspiring. So this is your call to keep creating, keep sharing, right? Keep teaching. Now, we also have the Archer. This one says biding your time and planning ahead. I don't know. I keep hearing like reaching your target, right? Hitting your target. Maybe you're going to be reaching like a long-held goal in the new year. I also feel like this talks about things like precision and patience and foresight. So in terms of what you look like, again, I feel like it's somebody who feels very calm, very composed, very much like our cat friend here, right? Somebody who has a very focused demeanor that exudes confidence. Again, physically, I think that you appear grounded. Maybe you look deliberate with very like intentional, like, you know, actions and things that really do like reflect that strategic mindset of yours. Someone who's moving with a purpose, right? But I also feel like this is the energy of you having this very like clean, organized, like professional attire. Something that symbolizes that like you're prepared, right? I also feel like this is the energy of you being patient but driven, right? Like you're not in a rush, but you understand the value of timing and the preparation and hitting your mark too. This is all about vision, right? Like keeping your goals clear, keeping your goals in sight, just like an archer focuses on a bullseye, right? This is all about discipline too. So I wonder if you're going to continue to practice something in the new year, right? I think this has a lot to do with trust too, right? Archery, I feel like you have to believe in the process, right? You have to believe in to manifest that success in that right moment. So this version of yourself is a master planner. They're a visionary, right? This version of yourself knows how to live with intention and they know how to move steadily towards their goals and their aspirations. So yes. We also have Shield Maiden. This one says make plans and focus. Ooh, more confirmation on focus, planning ahead, being a visionary. So again, in terms of your appearance, I think that confident, right? Very polished. She looks ready, right? She looks ready and she looks like she can conquer anything. She looks like a badass, right? I also think that your environment is going to, again, feel very organized, very intentional, right? Maybe you're going to be having the proper tools at your like disposal, right? Resources that support your ambitions. Again, I feel like what you feel like in the new year, it feels very clear, right? Clear-headed, driven, disciplined. I think that your courage feels very unwavering in the new year. Again, your energy is very focused. It's very energized. Each step is a part of a well thought out plan, right? So you're somebody who embraces responsibility and you're somebody who knows how to thrive on structure, but you know how to balance it with adaptability when life shifts or when life changes, right? So I think that this is my pile that knows their goal and they're not afraid to protect their dreams while making steady progress towards that, right? So strength and wisdom, pile 1. We also have grant permission. This one says you're in charge, but it doesn't always feel that way. You absorb shoulds and unspoken suggestions over time. Over time, you're living based on someone else's playbook. Explore the unwritten rules that guide your days. Whenever you notice yourself saying I can't or I shouldn't, ask yourself why. Release the limits that you no longer need. You might even remind yourself you're allowed to. Step into the dual role of rule breaker and rule maker. Give yourself permission to be the person you're meant to be. Ooh. So in what area of your life, pile 1, do you feel like you have either been holding yourself back, or you've like not granted yourself permission to do this, right? Maybe this is a creative project that you've always like wanted to put out there, but you felt hesitant about it, or you felt like it wasn't the right time, right? Have you granted yourself permission to create, to express, to teach, right? What do you need to grant yourself permission for, or to, or with, or whatever the word is there? We also have the 4-leaf clover, and this one is an increase luck card. So this one says lucky in Ireland. I wonder if some of you will be traveling to Ireland, or if Ireland is significant to you in some way, pile 1. But this one says the odds of finding a 4-leaf clover are said to be 1 in 10,000, which is why finding one is considered to be so lucky. The 4 sides are said to represent faith, hope, luck, and love. Some people also say that Eve picked a 4-leaf clover to take with her when she was banished from Eden, while the Celts carried them to ward off bad luck. 4-leaf clovers are the most common in Ireland, so this may be where the phrase luck of the Irish comes in. How to capture luck. Go out for a walk and see if you can find a 4-leaf clover. Okay, so I have okay. Let me just say, first off, maybe a 4-leaf clover is significant to you. Maybe this is a sign, symbol, synchronicity for you. Pile 1, be on the lookout for, like, not even just the literal 4-leaf clover, but seeing symbols of 4-leaf clovers in movies, out in your environment, in places, on streets. Like, you just be open. You may find confirmations with the 4-leaf clover. But funny story. So when I was in elementary school, I was a little confused, and I thought that 3-leaf clovers were lucky. And so of course you see a lot of 3-leaf clovers, and I was like, wow, must be the luckiest chick in the whole world, because I just keep finding these lucky clovers. And so anyway, what do they say? The lucky people are the ones who believe they are, or something like that. So maybe you're going to be adopting like that lucky girl attitude, that lucky girl mindset, right? Maybe you'll be making yourself like a lucky girl, or lucky boy, a lucky person playlist, right? Yeah, I do think that this new year is going to be a lucky one for you in terms of your best future version of yourself. What else can we divine with here? Here, let's roll some astro dice. Okay. Pile 1. What else do we need to know about the best future version of yourself in the new year? So we have the moon in Aries. We have moon and Aries in the 7th house. Okay, so your future version of yourself with the moon and Aries in the 7th house, I feel like is someone who is very much emotionally courageous. You're somebody who is emotionally courageous, you're somebody who's driven, and maybe you're somebody who seeks passionate, dynamic partnerships. I feel like this is my pile that thrives on independence within the relationships, and maybe you're drawn to connections that challenge you to grow and assert your own individuality, right? And maybe your emotional fulfillment comes from pursuing things boldly, right? And maybe connecting with people, right, in exciting ways. And I think that this version of you is a leader in your relationships, right? And you're not afraid to take initiative, and you're not afraid to embrace the adventure of shared growth, especially as it has to do with your committed partnerships or relationships. For some of you, this could be marriage too. So yes. Okay, so thank you so much, pile 1. Please give this video a like if it resonates, and comment below with what pile you chose. You know, I love to chat with you all in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you. Take care of yourself. Check out my channel, Tidal Tarot. I have a bunch of different pick a card readings and other videos for you to explore. But if not this time, I will see you on the next video. Bye, pile 1. Okay, so pile 2. Okay, so pile 2. What does the best future version of yourself look or feel like? We're going to be diving into the essence of your future self. If you're looking for a reading that's more like a day in your life as your future self, I do have a reading on that topic, and I'll link it below in the description of this video. But for those of you who are interested in learning more about what your best future version of yourself looks like, let's get started with the Astro Dice. I usually do this at the end of the readings. For those of you who don't stay tuned to the end, I do this at the end, but I figured I better do it in the beginning for those of you who don't make it to the end of the readings, or just for those of you who prefer it in the beginning. So what does the best future version of pile 2 self look or feel like? Okay, so we have Uranus in Sagittarius in the 12th house. So Uranus in Sagittarius in the 12th house. I feel like the future version of yourself is somebody who is a visionary and somebody who is a spiritually awakened person, right? So there is a deep inner drive for freedom, right? There's this deep inner drive for innovation and maybe even exploring higher truths, right? This is all very Sagittarius. I think that in the new year, you're going to experience sudden insights, right? Sudden breakthroughs related to things like spirituality or maybe philosophy or hidden aspects of yourself. But your future self is somebody who embraces the unconventional, right? The unconventional approaches. You're somebody who's not afraid to challenge outdated beliefs. And I think that this future version of yourself thrives by exploring the unknown, right? They thrive by trusting your intuition, and they thrive by aligning with a greater purpose. So this is your time to embrace your unique spiritual journey, pile 2, right? Because I think that this is something that holds the key to your freedom and your inner peace. Now, we also have the Hierophant in reverse, which is kind of cool that this comes on the heels of that message, because again, with the Hierophant in reverse, your future self likely is somebody who like is breaking away from tradition, right? Or is questioning societal norms, right? Somebody who is embracing a more personal, unconventional path to growth. So I wonder if there's a bit of like nonconformity here, you know, like maybe the way you dress or act or express yourself are in ways that maybe challenge like conventional expectations, right? I definitely think that this is my pile of independent thinkers here. So I think that you're going to be following your own intuition. You're going to be following your own inner wisdom rather than relying on any sort of like, you know, shoulds or establishments of other people, right? I think you're here to travel your own unique path. And I think that your journey to success involves maybe ways that feel a little bit more innovative, or things that involve you maybe like creating your own way, if you know what I mean. So yeah, in the new year, I think life feels a lot more free, right? There's a sense of liberation. Maybe you're letting go of outdated beliefs or societal pressures, right? I definitely think that you're going to be living according to your values, even if they differ from the norm. We also have the 3 of Pentacles here. I feel like the best or future version of yourself embodies things like collaboration and mastery and making a purposeful effort, right? So in terms of what this looks like, I wonder if some of you here are going to be working in a team in the new year, right? Maybe you're going to be recognized or respected for some sort of unique skill that you have, right? So I can see you being in a professional or a creative environment where your talents contribute to something meaningful. So I do feel like you're going to look like somebody who is organized, somebody who is focused, somebody who has clear plans and has their goals in motion, right? This is somebody who is confident and poised, right? I think that you're going to be showing your pride in your craftsmanship or your work ethic or whatever it is that you've been toiling away at. I wonder if you're going to be working with a mentor or another person on this project, or maybe you're going to be in the position of the mentor and you'll have some sort of apprentice. So we'll see. In terms of what your best future version of yourself, like what life feels like, right? What you feel like, I think that you're going to be feeling very fulfilled through these meaningful collaborations, right? And through these things like shared accomplishments. I also think that you're going to be feeling very grounded and secure, right? You're going to know that your contributions are valued. This is the card that reminds us to stay inspired and to keep being motivated to learn and to refine our abilities, right? This is the card of being connected to others. And I really do feel like in the new year, you're going to be feeling a very strong sense of mutual respect, a very strong sense of partnership. I feel like your future self thrives on things like cooperation. You thrive on things like continuous growth and to tune in to shared visions, right? And you know how to turn maybe visions that you and other people share together into reality, right? So this is the card of blending like practicality with your artistry. The threes in the tarot are all about communication too. So your best future version of yourself is going to be someone who is very much an effective communicator. And I already know that this is my pal that is already, but I feel like it's going to get even more enhanced or more better. And you're going to be like, wow, I'm blown away. We also have the Star Mother. This one says, how can you mother yourself? Ooh, so this card is just radiating love, the energy of nurturing, the energy of compassion, right? So I feel like in the new year, you're going to prioritize your physical and your emotional and your mental well-being, right? You're going to be embracing habits that really nourish and sustain you. I also feel like your presence feels very peaceful, pile 2, right? You exude this inner strength and this softness. And I also feel like your relationships are going to feel very harmonious in the new year too, right? There's going to be a lot of love, a lot of respect, a lot of understanding, because you know how to model the care that you give to yourself, right? Now, I also feel like in this next year, you're going to be fully embracing your creativity, you're going to be fully embracing your passions, and I really do think that you're going to be allowing whatever it is that you've been working on to blossom. So again, this next year, you're very calm, you're very centered, you're very balanced, you're very resilient. And, in the new year, I feel like you're going to be feeling very loved, very secure. I definitely think that you're going to feel that sense of unconditional love, right? And I also feel like this is the year where you finally realize that you can provide yourself with the love that you've always been looking for, right? Or you can provide yourself with that nurturing support that you need. Because this is the year that you start to feel very much in harmony with your purpose, right? You're going to be connected to your inner wisdom and your higher self. And whatever challenges that you face, pile 2, you're going to have that courage, right? You're going to feel supported by this foundation of care and community, right? And compassion from other people. This is the year that's going to feel very peaceful and very joyful. In this new year, you're going to be appreciating the beauty in life, right? And in the small, meaningful moments as well. This is the card of you feeling so worthy and so abundant, pile 2. You're going to recognize that your value is so much more than you even gave yourself credit for. And I do think that your actions are going to start reflecting your new, it's almost like your newly discovered sense of self-worth. So yeah, I think that the energy of the Star Mother here encourages us to treat ourselves with the same love and care that we would give to, say, like a child, our child, a family member, a friend, a loved one, right? Because when we do this, when we give the love to ourselves that we give to other people, this transforms and this uplifts every aspect of our being. We also have the acceptance card. This one says letting go, water, and non-resistance. And it says you can let go now, surrender to what is. Ooh. Yeah, I definitely think that in the new year, again, you're very calm, you're very composed, right? Even in challenging situations. I think that you might have this lifestyle that prioritizes things like balance and harmony and fluidity. Again, I feel like you're going to have relationships in the new year that thrive on this mutual understanding and this willingness to allow people to have their own autonomy, their own respect, right? Their own individuality, their own freedom to be authentic. Like, I wonder for some of you here, maybe you've been feeling like confined or restricted in some way in your life, right? And maybe you're going to be almost like, I can just see you like blooming or blossoming like a rose, right? I want to say that like your environment feels a lot calmer too in the new year, right? There's a sense of like inner calm, the stillness of water. I wonder if some of you are going to be spending more time near water. But yeah, you're definitely going to be feeling this like freedom from the burden of control, right? Or the resistance to change. You're going to be trusting in the natural flow of life. You're going to be embracing in the ebbs and flows of life. This is the year where you feel gratitude for being in the present moment. This is the year that you release any sort of attachment to outcomes, right? This is the year that you finally feel that emotional lightness that you deserve, right? You need that. This is the year where you feel like that weight has been lifted. Your future self is going to thrive by moving with life's currents. And I think that your future self is going to know that things like growth and fulfillment, they come from ease and not struggle, right? We also have the Hound. This one says loyalty, chains, and promises. Ooh, again, another message maybe about feeling restricted in some way, right? I don't know if you felt restricted in your past or currently, and maybe you're looking to feel more freedom or more liberation in the new year. But in terms of like what you look like or what your vibe is in the new year, I feel like you're somebody who knows how to honor commitments, right? You know how to uphold your promises. And I think that a lot of people trust you and they know how to rely on you, right? Or they know that they can rely on you. Your relationships feel really, really, really strong in the new year, pile 2. You are going to be supported by loyal people, right? Supportive connections, whether this is in partnerships or friendships or community. You're going to also be feeling very purpose-driven, right? Very clear in your intentions. I think that you're going to be having boundaries with balance too, right? So while you're loyal, you're also going to recognize that importance of freedom, right? I think that you're going to be avoiding any sort of chains or restrictions that keep you held down or that limit your growth. So what does this new year feel like for you? It feels secure, right? It feels safe. It feels like you trusting in yourself and you having that trust in people that you hold close to you. I feel like this is the year where when you commit to things, they feel like a source of strength and not a burden. Like I keep saying, in the new year, I am going to do less and say less. And you know what's interesting is like, it's not that I'm not going to work hard. It's not like I'm going to stop my creative projects or stop working, but I have this intention in the new year to stop being busy just for the sake of being busy, right? I'm not going to just sign up for everything and spin my wheels and run on fumes and not be able to give back to myself or not be able to give back to my family or my kids or my loved ones or my husband, right? So maybe in this next year, you're going to be starting to take things off of your plate, right? This doesn't mean you're not engaged and you're not creating and you're not producing and working. It just means that you're scaling back a little bit and you're allowing more freedom, more breathing room into your life. And you'd be surprised what miracles actually flow in. Like I remember I had this self-limiting belief that I was working through where I thought that if I worked extremely hard and like worked myself to the brim, that I would like earn more, like attract more, right? And what's interesting is in the moments of rest, that's when like all of the blessings like flowed in, right? That's when all the manifestations flowed in. And I'm not saying that blessings only flow in that way, but like I feel like I was just a lot more receptive to it when I was in a calm, relaxed, receptive state versus like a pushing, doing, like forceful state. Things felt a lot better when my manifestations showed up, you know? But yeah, I definitely feel like there's a sense of fulfillment coming through with this card, pile 2. I think that you're going to be having this balance between serving others and then honoring your own needs, right? It's going to lead you to a lot more satisfaction in your life. I keep hearing the word liberated. You're going to feel free, pile 2. We also have the Traveler card here. This one says move in a new direction. Ooh, interesting. Some of you, I wonder if you're like literally moving in the new year, right? I see a map here. I see like a globe and a compass. You're going to be following your own arrow, right? So, for example, some of you here may still live in the hometown that you grew up in. And you're like, I've known since I was young that I was meant to explore other places. This doesn't mean that like you never come back home or you never, right? I mean, unless you don't want to, but I just feel like you were meant to explore. You were meant to expand. You were meant to move beyond the horizon, move beyond your comfort zone, right? Move in a new direction. So I don't know if you've been called to try something new in love, try something new in your career, try a new way of making money, right? Or just physically relocate and go somewhere else. For those of you who are interested in traveling or taking a trip, I do have a pick a card reading on your next big adventure, your next trip, what your next travels will be like, what lessons you'll take from it, where you might be going, and with whom. I will tag that for you in this description as well if you feel called to check that reading out. I also feel like, just in terms of what things look like, how things feel for you in the new year, again, you feel very confident. You feel very adaptable. You're somebody who knows how to embrace change with ease. And again, I feel like you're going to just be radiating this sense of freedom, pile 2, right? I don't know if you're going to be wearing clothes or styles or expressions that really symbolize your freedom or your adventure, or you're going to be carrying this energy of readiness for life's opportunities, right? So many new opportunities coming your way in the new year. You're going to be feeling very excited, pile 2, very inspired, grounded, yet open to the unknown, right? And again, you're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel unburdened by past limitations. And you're going to feel deeply, deeply, deeply connected to your inner compass, right? There's going to be a lot of self-trust in the new year, right? There's a sense of courage and curiosity and fulfillment in pursuing some sort of path that really truly resonates with your heart and your soul. So again, I think that this version of you is going to thrive by stepping out of their comfort zone, right? And exploring new horizons and really creating this life that's fulfilled with purpose and with growth. We also have the Speak Kindly card here. This one says, think about the last time you made a mistake. What did you tell yourself? Would you say that to a friend in the same situation? You're probably far harsher on yourself than you'd ever be on anyone else. A loud inner critic can make talking to yourself much less appealing. Who would want to engage with someone who is always mean to them? Be kind to your inner dialogue. Extend yourself the care and compassion that you would to your dearest friend. Doesn't that sound better? I love that this is like directly under the Star Mother, right? Because we talked about treating yourself or showing yourself the same love that you would show to a child or to a loved one, right? And so this speaks to the same thing. Are you speaking kindly to yourself? Is your inner dialogue one that's empowering you or one that's disempowering you, right? One that's dragging you down, one that's not helping you move the needle forward to where you want to go? In what areas of your life, pile 2, has your inner critic been too loud? This could be the year where if your inner critic pops up, I wonder if you're going to be a lot more confident in being like, thanks, but sit down. Thanks, inner critic. Heard that, but sit down. That's not true. That's not real for me. That's not my reality. Thank you, fear, right? Thank you, whatever that feeling is, right? That comes in to try to keep us safe. But I've got this. No big deal. You know how to speak kindly to yourself in the new year. And then we also have a lantern, a red lantern. Okay, so we have a red lantern here, and this one is a collect luck card. So red lanterns, lucky in China. The second emperor of the Eastern Han Dynasty, 25 to 220 CE, Ming Di, was an advocate of Buddhism. He ordered the inhabitants of the imperial palace and the citizens to light candles and lanterns to worship Buddha and dispel the darkness. This evolved into the Chinese Lantern Festival, which takes place on the 15th day of the first lunar month, long a national holiday. Not only do the lanterns attract luck, but they also bring happiness, vitality, and wealth into your life. How to capture luck? Make or buy your own red lantern to hang up. So a couple different things here. Some of you may want to work with a red lantern in terms of increasing your luck for yourself in the new year. Maybe some of you are going to be going to some sort of Chinese lantern festival or a lantern festival. Maybe some of you here are traveling to China, or somewhere in Asia in the new year. Maybe some of you dive into learning more about the culture of China. I also think like your passion is going to be illuminated, right? And then in terms of themes or things that you're going to find in the new year, happiness, vitality, wealth, you're going to be attracting luck in those areas. So yes, thank you so much, Pile 2. I really do hope that you had fun with this reading. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Comment below with what pile you chose. You know, I love to connect with all of my spiritual besties in the community out here in the comments. Definitely let me know what resonates with you. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Please take care of yourself. Have a gorgeous day. And if you feel called to, please check out my channel, Tidal Tarot. I've got a bunch of different pick-a-card readings and other videos for you to explore. But if not this time, I will see you back on the next reading. Bye, Pile 2. So Pile 3, let's talk about your New Year glow up, okay? The first thing I want to do here is I would love to roll some astro dice to find out what does this best future version of yourself look like. We're going to get a feel for the essence, for the energy, for the vibe of what things will feel like, what things will look like for you in the new year. If you would like to get more of like a day in your life as your future self type of reading, I do have a pick a card reading on that topic, and I'll link it for you below in the description. But if you are here to learn more about the best future version of yourself, what's it going to feel like, what's the essence of things going to feel like, let's dive in. So pile 3. Okay, we have Pisces. Oh, excuse me. We actually have, we'll do it this way. So we have Saturn in Pisces in the 3rd house. So I feel like the future version of yourself here with Saturn in Pisces in the 3rd house, I feel like you're somebody who is going to embody a blend of having this disciplined creativity and emotional intelligence in the way that you communicate, in the way that you learn, in the way that you connect with others. This is the year where you start to develop some sort of structured approach to expressing your spiritual or artistic or intuitive insights, right? Maybe you're going to be turning some sort of abstract idea into practical wisdom. So I feel like this is the version of yourself that very much values meaningful conversations, right? And you know how to commit to mastering skills or knowledge that really bridges logic and empathy, right? And I also think that this is the year where you're going to be working on setting boundaries, right? Overcoming self-doubt in your voice, right? And building that resilience and that grounded sense of clarity in how you share your thoughts or how you communicate with the world. I love that we have the share your voice card here too, so we'll dive into that in a second, but I just love when the cards confirm themselves or there's a theme going on, right? There's a repeating message, so yes. But okay, pile 3, we have the first card that we have here is the Devil. And now I want to break this card down in terms of its definition because it sounds a whole lot scarier than it really is. The Devil in the tarot represents things like temptation, right? It represents things like materialism, like addiction, or maybe even like unhealthy attachments, right? It can also represent this feeling of being trapped in a cycle, being trapped in an illusion, right? But with this, I feel like in terms of what your best future version of yourself looks or feels like, you're going to be somebody who breaks free from negative patterns. The best future version of yourself is going to feel very empowered by breaking free from any sort of limiting beliefs that you have or any sort of addictions that you're working through, right? Maybe in the new year, you're going to be letting go of unhealthy attachments, right? Whether they're to people or substances or fears, right? Or limiting beliefs that once held you back. Because the Devil in this context can suggest a future where you're no longer bound by what once controlled you. There's a lot of self-mastery and awareness coming through in the new year for you, right? So I do think that the future version of yourself will have this very deep understanding of your shadow self, right? The parts of yourself that maybe you have hidden or you have ignored. And I feel like this future version of yourself is going to be a lot more accepting of, you know, your flaws, right? And I think that you're going to be able to use that awareness to transform any sort of things that you want to let go of into a personal strength, right? So maybe you're going to be able to transform things that you see as negative traits into personal strengths. I also feel like in this next year, you're going to learn to, again, set boundaries and protect your energy, right? So maybe for some of you here, you find that your best self is someone who knows how to say no to temptations, right? Or to distractions or to toxic relationships, right? I think this is something that's going to allow you to stay focused on what truly matters to you. Like, for example, if you've been sober curious and you've been trying to figure out, you know, how to stay sober, and you've given yourself, you know, maybe you don't even consider yourself like an alcoholic or something. This is just an example. But maybe you feel like when, you know, during the holidays, you've been drinking more, partying more, there's been more events where there's been alcohol involved, and maybe, you know, this is my pile that feels like they're very in tune emotionally, right? Or they're very perceptive to the energies around them, right? And maybe, for example, like maybe alcohol is something that puts your energy in a frenzy or doesn't set you up for success, or really muddles the water, really muddies the water, right? Or something that doesn't make you feel clear and ready to go and hit the ground running, right? I wonder if, for those of you, maybe some of you are going to be like taking a break, right? Like maybe you won't be drinking for several months, or you're going to take the year off of drinking. Like that's just a specific example for some of you, but I just feel like there's some sort of attachment to the way things always were, or some sort of attachment to some sort of behavior that's just not, it's not a part of you anymore, right? It's not a part of this best future version of yourself, right? Or maybe this is some of you reducing, like, for example, since we're on the topic of drinking, right? Maybe some of you here are going to reduce your alcohol intake, right? So instead of, like, maybe you're the person that took like 7 shots and partied hard, right? But now you're like, I'll just have a glass of champagne only socially when we're cheersing at you know, the stroke of midnight on New Year's, right? That's just for specific some of you too. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But I definitely think that with this card, you're going to be just releasing the things that do not serve you, right? So rather than being ruled by things like materialism or instant gratification, your future is going to be rechanneled into healthier expressions of your desire, right? So I don't know if the best future version of yourself will feel more confident in pursuing your goals and your passions without being driven by fear or guilt, or for some of you, you know, being hungover, right? That's just, again, for specific some of you, just running with that example. I just think that there's going to be a lot of freedom in your new year in terms of like your ambitions or your decisions or what you choose to do. I just really don't feel like you're going to be, it's not that you're not going to be the same anymore, but you're going to be so blown away by how many changes you make and how many positive changes you make for yourself. Pile 3. Sometimes the Devil card here too can talk about a fear that has been like a dominant force in your life, right? Maybe something that's been holding you back from reaching your highest potential or your fullest potential. So maybe the best future version of yourself will feel a profound sense of peace or a profound sense of liberation, right? Something that feels free from fear-based thinking, right? Whatever thinking that once dictated your actions. So yeah, with this card, your future self is someone who has risen above their past limitations, someone who has gained mastery over their own impulses or their own desires, right? And you're going to be someone who fully embraces this new sense of freedom and this new sense of self-empowerment, right? And healthy boundaries with yourself and others, right? We also have the 3 of Swords in reverse. So I feel like in the new year, you're going to be healing from past wounds, right? Maybe letting go of heartbreak or overcoming some sort of emotional pain. This is the year where you're going to learn how to release old hurts and transform past pain into wisdom, because you do have the ability to bounce back from any sort of adversity that you've gone through. And I think that this new year is going to be one where you don't let the past struggles that you've been through define your present or your future, right? There's going to be a lot of forgiveness and release in this new year, right? I don't think that you're going to be holding on to grudges or resentment, right? There's this emotional freedom and letting go of lingering wounds here, pile 3. I really feel like your future self feels very emotionally balanced and self-aware. This is you being able to recognize unhealthy patterns and avoid them, right? And allow for more meaningful and authentic connections too. I do think that you're going to develop this deep understanding of other people's pain. Again, I think that this is my pile that's very empathetic. Some of you here may even consider yourself empaths. They're highly sensitive people, right? But I do think that this is the year that you're going to feel just even more deeply compassionate and more able to offer support to other people without letting that like bleed into your life or drain your energy or your reserves, right? Boundaries, energetic boundaries. Oh, I just love this. There's so much self-empowerment so far in this reading, pile 3. The future you is somebody who stands strong. The future you is somebody who knows that past hurts don't diminish your worth or your future potential. This is you reclaiming your power and moving forward with a renewed sense of strength and a new sense of confidence, pile 3. This future version of yourself is free from the emotional burdens of the past. And you're somebody that's going to be embracing a life of emotional freedom and healing and strength. This is all so beautiful, pile 3. We also have share your voice. This one says, come out of the cave, persecution, and expression. This is the year when you finally feel empowered and confident and free to express yourself authentically. I don't know, for some of you here, if you were in a relationship or maybe you grew up in a household where you weren't allowed to share your voice, you weren't allowed to share your opinion. When you asked why, you were shut down. I'm hearing that in the new year, it's no more of that, right? You've overcome fears of judgment, right? You're learning to speak your truth more openly. You're going to be feeling more liberated and at peace. I also feel like there's this deep sense of belonging and fulfillment too, as you embrace this uniqueness and connect with others, right? There are other people that need to hear your message, and by you holding back or by you not expressing yourself, it's almost like, I'm not saying like you're hindering somebody else's healing, but you never know what message that needs to be heard. You never know what message needs to be heard by somebody else who may be just a couple steps behind you, or maybe somebody who is in a very similar situation as you. I think that by you sharing your voice, you're going to inspire others around you, and you're going to have these relationships that are filled with a lot of authenticity and a lot of mutual respect. This is you radiating self-assurance in the new year, pile 3. This is you being aligned with your true purpose. I wonder for some of you here, if you feel like you have a purpose in communicating or speaking, singing, sharing, expressing in some way. We also have emotions. This one says honoring the flow of all the emotions. Emotions, alchemy, processing, and sensitivity. Man, pile 3. This is my pile. You guys have gone through so much, right? And you've gone through so much alchemy too. Again, this is the year where you're transforming your experiences into wisdom. This is my pile that knows how to process all the heavy stuff with grace and letting it go instead of holding on to it. And now don't get me wrong here, you don't have to do this all by yourself. For those of you who want to call in a trusted mentor, a trusted friend, a trusted guide, a trusted loved one, maybe a professional who deals with whatever you're going through specifically. I know I love going to therapy. I'm always a huge proponent of mental health and advocating for, improving your mental health. So maybe that's a sign for some of you here. But all in all, I do feel like in this new year, you're going to be more in touch with your sensitivity, right? You're going to be embracing it as a strength and not as a weakness. You're going to know that your emotions are like tools now, right? They guide you rather than overwhelming you. Again, that word boundaries is coming up, like emotional boundaries, energetic boundaries, knowing what's yours is yours and what's other people's is theirs. Other people's problems are not yours. I just feel like there's this calm confidence in knowing that you're constantly evolving. And I feel like you're going to be feeling a lot more at peace with your journey. This is the year where you feel more connected to yourself than ever before. You're going to be feeling more connected to other people too. And again, I do think that you're going to just be flowing through life with a deeper sense of purpose. It's honestly like stepping into your full power here, pile 3. I've got a big smile on my face. This pile is transforming massively in the new year. I keep hearing like a complete 180 or complete 360. Almost like unrecognizable in a sense. In a good way. Okay. We also have the adventure. This one says responsibility and it says expectations. So with this card, I feel like the best version of yourself is one that's striving forward. In this new year, you're somebody who embraces responsibility, but you don't let expectations weigh you down. You're going to be somebody who's confident in handling your life's challenges, but you're also going to know how to stay true to your own path and not just meet other people's standards. This is the year where you feel a sense of freedom because you're in control and you know that you're building something solid and something meaningful, right? Both for yourself and for those around you. There's balance here. I think that in this new year, you've learned that success doesn't come from doing everything perfectly. But I think that you're going to learn that from having the strength to handle it all with grace, that's when success comes, right? This is the year where you feel very empowered, pile 3. You're going to feel like you are in the driver's seat of your own adventure, and every step that you take feels very aligned with who you are. We also have Skyfather. This one says trust in the unknown. So with this one, I feel like this version of you feels incredibly confident in your ability to navigate whatever life throws your way, even if that path ahead isn't clear. This is the year that you've learned to surrender control and just trust that things are unfolding as they should, even when it's uncertain. This version of you feels very expansive and very free, pile 3. Like you're connected to something bigger than yourself, right? Like you're co-creating with the universe. This is you being calm in the face of uncertainty or in the face of chaos or, anything like that. You are going to know that you're exactly where you're meant to be. And what a powerful feeling that is, pile 3. We also have I'm proud of you. Right away when I first pulled this card, I sense that for some of you here, you have a passed on loved one on the other side who wants you to know that they're so proud of you. And those of you who that resonates with, you're going to know exactly who this is. This could be somebody that you pray to, communicate to, or communicate with, or maybe you've been trying to connect with them. But there's a past one on the other side. For those of you who that resonates with, that's very, very proud of you. So proud of how far you've come and how much grace that you've carried through all of this. So, yes. But this card says, say these words out loud. I'm proud of you. Now notice what comes up for you. Can you accept these words as truth? How does your body respond? I'm proud of you is a sentence we all need to hear and one that we struggle to receive. Tell yourself that you're proud as a celebration of a job well done. Say it as a reminder when the going gets tough. Repeat those words even when they don't feel true. Get used to hearing and saying that sentence. You're allowed to be proud of yourself. I love that, pile 3. You're allowed to be proud of yourself. You're allowed to give yourself a lot of credit, right? I keep hearing street cred. Like, you've been through a lot, pile 3. You're allowed to be proud of yourself. You're allowed to take that wisdom from what you've learned from all those struggles and turn that into your story. You're allowed, you don't have to if you don't want to, but you're allowed to create with this. You're allowed to alchemize whatever you've been through and turn that into something beautiful, right? You get to make a pearl out of this. We also have heart here, and this one is a dress lucky card. So it says heart, lucky in several cultures around the world. And this one says, for centuries, the heart has been a symbol of love and wisdom. From the Egyptians who thought it was the seat of intelligence to the Chinese who call it the king of all organs, the heart is very powerful. In Mexico and in Central America, lucky charms, milagros, in the shape of hearts, protect the wearer and promote good luck in all matters of the heart, from illness to romance. How to capture luck. Wear a heart-shaped charm to attract more love and positivity into your life. I wonder if some of you here are going to be wearing hearts in the new year. You're going to be attracting more love in the new year. Maybe you're going to be making more decisions from the heart. Following your heart, following your own compass, right? going to be receiving more love. Ooh, I also think that you're going to be tuning into your heart more too. Trusting in your intuition, trusting in your emotions, honoring that deep sensitivity, that deep perceptiveness that you have, right? That intuition. Trust yourself, pile 3. I keep feeling that urge to say that. Trust yourself. But yes, thank you so much. I hope that you had fun with this reading. Please give this video a like if it resonates. Comment below with what pile you chose. You know I love to connect with you all in the comments. And subscribe if you have not already. Thank you. Take care of yourself. I hope to see you on the next reading after this. Check out my channel, Tidal Tarot. I've got a bunch of different pick a card readings and videos for you to explore. But if not this time, I will see you back on the next reading. Bye, pile 3. Okay, so pile 4. Let's talk all about your new year glow up, right? What does this best future version of yourself look like or feel like? We're going to be diving into the essence of your best future version of yourself. If you're more interested in getting a day in the life of your future self, please check out the description. I have another pick a card reading that I made on that topic, and I will link it for you there in the description. But if you're here to get more insights on the essence or the energy or how things are going to feel for you in the new year, you are in the right place. First thing I want to do here is I would love to roll some astro dice to find out what does the best future version of yourself look or feel like. Pile 1. Okay, we have Venus in Taurus. Okay, I already know you're gonna be like super hot in the new year. Only because I'm like, Venus Taurus is very like beauty, luxury, sensuality, so I can just tell people are going to be very attracted to you in the new year. And then we also have the 5th house, which could be like romance, creativity. Okay, right away there's this energy of attraction, like I mentioned earlier, right? This is the energy of you being very charming, very, very much attracting like meaningful connections, meaningful opportunities. I think that you're going to be thriving in the areas of joy and love and personal artistry. I also feel like the future version of yourself with Venus and Taurus in the 5th house is a lover of beauty. You're a lover of creativity and a lover of sensual pleasures. So I wonder if this is my pile that's very deeply connected to their values, and maybe this is my pile that loves to express them through artistic modes, right? Or romance or activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. This is the placement that can talk about having a really nice, harmonious relationship with love and luxury and self-expression, right? And favoring these long-lasting pleasures over like quick, fleeting indulgences, right? So I do think that in this new year, you're going to be creating a lot of stability in your creative and your romantic endeavors, which is really exciting. And I do think that you're going to be drawing opportunities towards yourself to experience more abundance and more self-worth and more grounded passion, right? A lot of magnetic, attractive energy here, pile 4. Now, we also have the 6 of Wands here. So the 6 of Wands represents things like victory, things like recognition, and things like public success. So I do think that the best future version of yourself feels very, very successful, right? Feels very, very triumphant, feels very confident. You're going to be achieving some sort of big, significant goal, or you're going to be gaining some sort of huge recognition in the new year, pile 4. I also think that you're going to be standing really tall, right? You're going to have this sense of pride and accomplishment, and you're going to know that your hard work is paid off, right? This is the version of you that is celebrated. This is the version of you that's admired by others. And in the new year, I just feel like you're going to be radiating a very positive energy, right? You're going to be having this energy of self-assurance. So I wonder if for some of you here, you'll feel like this sense of validation or this sense of self-worth, right? I do think that you're going to be earning some sort of respect from your peers or like a larger community. I also wonder if things like leadership and recognition, and I think this future version of yourself embraces leadership and recognition and personal success, but they also understand the importance of humility, right? And knowing that the journey to success is just as significant as the destination. Because the energy of the 6 of Wands also represents you feeling connected to a sense of purpose, right? And a sense of pride in your achievements. I wonder if some of you here have had to overcome a lot of challenges to get to this point. right? This point of where you are right now. So I wonder if in the new year you're going to be feeling more aligned with your true potential, or you're going to feel this deeper sense of confidence in your abilities and your direction, which is really, really, really juicy pile 4. You're going to have something to celebrate. I think you're going to have others in your community around you. This is you acknowledging how far you've come. And this is you acknowledging the accomplishments that you've achieved. We also have the Ace of Wands reversed here. So I feel like this future version of yourself may still be in the process of either like finding or fully stepping into your personal power, right? Or maybe your creativity or your ambition. I wonder if some of you here have gone through delays or challenges or feeling disconnected from your true passion or your direction. Or maybe some of you here have gone through feelings of self-doubt or feeling a lack of inspiration, right? Maybe some of you here have felt burnt out. I feel like this is my group of artists too, big time. For some of you here, like if you don't feel like you're an artist in the traditional sense, really think about what you're creating. If you're creating anything at all, you're an artist, right? There's an artist in all of us. But yeah, I'm just thinking about your future. Your future self knows how much potential they hold. Like immense potential is what I'm hearing. I don't know if right now you feel like you're in a period of reflection or reevaluation, right? I don't know if some of you here are uncertain of your next steps, or maybe some of you here feel like you're struggling with motivation. I don't know if some of you here have been feeling less energized or more hesitant to push and, pursue your goals. But I really do think that there's still this underlying spark, like waiting to be reignited or waiting to be rekindled, right? There's a huge opportunity for you in this new year to reignite that flame. This future version of yourself is somebody who's going to find clarity, right? But just know that it could take time and inner work and really realigning yourself with what truly excites you. Like, for example, I am obsessed with doing these pick a card readings. I love doing these readings for you guys. And it takes a lot of energy, right? And it can be a lot. And so I have to take regular breaks. Even if I don't feel like it, right? I have to give myself breaks. I have to allow myself to turn my brain off from this and do something else for a little bit, And honestly, I don't always feel inspired. I don't always feel creative, right? Sometimes I have to go do something else. I have to dance with life a bit and then come back to the drawing board, right? I have to let life inspire me naturally rather than force, right? It's all about flowing with your creativity. So, I just feel like in the new year, you're going to be somebody who rediscovers their passion, right? And rediscovers their creative drive, maybe after a period of doubt or, maybe after going through challenges, but you're going to emerge so much stronger and so much more focused on what truly matters to you. We also have the Dance with Life card. This one says, do something to change your energy. So with this one, I feel like this version of yourself is somebody who knows how to embrace change as like a natural part of your growth, right? I feel like this is you feeling open to experimenting with new ways to express yourself, maybe new ways of living, maybe new ways of pursuing your goals. I think you're going to be dancing to the rhythm of life for sure. I feel like this could manifest as feeling a little bit more light in taking your steps, right? Having a more fluid sense of decision making and just knowing when it's time to release old patterns or old beliefs that don't really serve you anymore. I think in the new year, you're going to be feeling physically and emotionally and mentally rejuvenated. You're going to have this infectious energy about you too. Like, again, so magnetic. Other people are drawn to you. They're drawn to this enthusiasm that you have. Interesting too. I feel like this future version of yourself has developed the ability to transform stress or any sort of stagnation into action and into growth, right? This version of yourself knows how to maintain this optimistic attitude while also knowing how to rest and reset when you need to, right? So I think your future self is like this beacon of transformative energy, right? You're someone who's ever evolving, and you're someone who's ready to embrace life's challenges with grace and with confidence. We also have liberation here. This one says free spirit, wild and authentic. So the best version of yourself, right, in the future is somebody who is a free spirit, somebody who is wild, somebody who is authentic, right? Somebody who feels deeply aligned with their true essence. I feel like this version of you is not held down by like societal expectations. And I really do think this is you embracing freedom in all of its forms, right? Creatively, emotionally, spiritually. You're going to feel this profound sense of peace and confidence in your individuality. I feel like you're going to feel unafraid to express yourself fully and unapologetically, Pile 4. This is the year when you feel so deeply in tune with your desires and you follow your intuition and your inner guidance without hesitation. This future self of you is free of those old limiting beliefs, right? Or those old past fears or any sort of self-doubt that once held you back. And I'm not saying that these fears or these beliefs don't pop up every once in a while. We're human, right? There's a strong sense of empowerment in you, in choosing your own path, right? And being guided by things like your passion and your purpose, right? So ultimately, I feel like this future version of yourself is somebody who knows how to embody a life of liberation, right? One that feels vibrant and bold and entirely true to your own unique spirit, right? Marching to the beat of your own drum. You're just somebody who is constantly evolving, constantly changing, but always with this deep sense of freedom and authenticity. This one says, just let me be. I wonder if this is your future self telling yourself now, like, just let me be. You don't have to change yourself. Allow yourself to shine. Allow your authentic self to come through. Almost like with dance, right? When we're dancing, it's almost like when we're free dancing. That's when our authentic creative expression comes out, right? We don't even know what's going to come out next. It just comes out. How can you allow yourself to feel liberated in your life? Or what area of your life do you feel like needs to feel liberated in the new year? We also have the Muse. This one says generosity and it says naivety. In the new year, Pile 4, I feel like you feel very, very abundant, right? So abundant that it's like overflowing with generosity, right? This is you sharing your resources, sharing your talents, sharing your energy with others, right? And trusting that the universe is going to return to you what you've given out. I do think that there's this youthful, childlike quality to this version of yourself, right? And naivety and not being gullible, right? But just having this open heart and this sense of wonder, right? Not being held down by cynicism or fear. This future version of yourself feels very lighthearted. It feels very creative. It feels very deeply connected to the flow of life. I feel like you would naturally inspire others, Pile 4. I feel like you have this natural ability to encourage other people to embrace their creativity and their authenticity. And I feel like the energy around you feels very freeing and uplifting, and it allows both yourself and other people to thrive in a very nurturing and collaborative environment. I feel like this is the version of you that trusts in the process and you believe in the goodness of life, and that with an open heart you can manifest the best outcomes for yourself and the world around you. We also have Fire Guardian here. This one says ignite your passions. So I feel like this version of yourself is someone who feels alive with purpose, right? You're driven by a burning desire to really pursue what truly excites and fulfills you. So this is you having embraced your passions and actively cultivating them in all areas of your life, Pile 4. You have this sense of unstoppable energy, this creativity, and this confidence in your decisions and your actions in the new year. And this is you just radiating warmth, inspiring those around you through your commitment to following your heart's desires, right? Whether this is in your career or your personal growth or your relationships or your creative endeavors. I just feel like this future version of yourself is fiercely aligned with your authentic self. And this is you not being afraid to take big steps, right? Bold steps, chasing your dreams and really setting ambitious goals for yourself. I really think that in the new year, you're going to be trusting in your own abilities. You're going to be trusting that fire within you. You're going to be embracing the highs and the lows as part of the growth process. And I feel like the energy around this future self is dynamic, right? It feels magnetic and it feels full of life. This is you feeling completely in tune with your true calling and you feeling joy from following it, right? So Pile 4, I really do think that in the new year, you're no longer going to be feeling like you're held back by fear or doubt or external expectations, right? I feel like your path is going to be lit by the flames of your passions, right? And you're going to walk it with courage. You're going to walk it with wisdom. And you're going to walk it with this deep sense of purpose. We also have Get Loud. This one says, talking to yourself out loud is not only totally normal, it's also a useful tool. The work of speaking gives you a little extra time to process, which can work wonders when your mind is racing. Think of verbalizing your inner dialogue as a sorting machine for your jumbled thoughts. You may feel like you're mentally being pulled in many directions, but you can only say one thing at a time. This is especially helpful when you're experiencing a lot of internal noise and when you're faced with challenging tasks. Speak up to gain clarity. In what area of your life do you need to speak up more? In what area of your life do you need to process what you're feeling on the inside? For some of you here, I wonder if speaking with someone, speaking with a professional, a friend, a trusted loved one, maybe speaking with someone will help to process whatever is going on within so that you can get it out. You know what I mean? I wonder if some of you here too are going to be like writing, expressing yourself in that way, singing, dancing too, expressing yourself in some way, but getting louder with that expression is what I'm feeling. Being more bold, being more confident, right? We also have the rabbit or the lucky rabbit's foot here. And this is a collect luck card. This one says lucky in Europe and North America. Rabbits spend a lot of time underground. And because of this, Celtic tribes believe these creatures could communicate with the gods and spirits, making them a lucky animal. In totemism, the spiritual connection between humans and living things, a rabbit's foot was even believed to be a phallic symbol bringing good fortune, fertility, and a prosperous harvest. Over time, this symbol has garnered more rules, including the legend that the back left foot is the luckiest. Carry a symbolic or synthetic rabbit's foot charm, such as a key ring, for luck. So some of you here may be working with rabbit's foot in terms of increasing your luck in the new year. Some of you may be very fertile in the new year, whether it comes to your work, literal fertility, but I do think that a new start, a new beginning, you're going to be birthing something new in the new year, which is really exciting. So thank you so much, Pile 4. I hope that this reading resonates with you. Please give it a like if it does. Subscribe if you have not already. Comment below with what pile you chose. You know I love to chat with you all in the comments. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself. Have a gorgeous day. And I will see you next time. Check out my channel, Tidal Tarot. Got a bunch of different pick a card readings for you to explore. If not this time, I'll see you back on the next reading. Bye, Pile 4.